Welcome back to 22 minus 11, aka the 11 Powers. Pierre, and I'm here with none other than
Ryan Davis. What's up? What's up?
the funny guy himself.
Yeah, man. That's what they saying.
So you just killed Houston, man. You had the whole crowd going wild. It was a lot of diversity in the crowd.
Yeah,
I kind of got scared for a second, man.
Oh, nah.
Some of the jokes, but I seen everybody reacting, so I said, okay, everybody's rocking.
Yeah, mixed audience, and I do my material, you know, the way, like, as you can see, I'll go there with everybody.
Oh, no, definitely, and they was laughing too.
And
so
everybody rock with it. It's all about making it palatable, man. Making it so everybody can stomach it. Everybody can deal with the truth. Sometimes you just gotta put some sugar in it a little bit.
Sweeten it up a little bit. Man, so I know you recently just dropped the Vlad interview. Shout out to Vlad. But you spoke a lot of good things in that interview. At one point, you talked about how your girl, you pretty much had a ride or die chick that pushed you to do your dreams. So, you know, a lot of people sometimes come out and a lot of people don't know what they want to do, first of all. You know, nothing wrong with people like that. But for somebody like you to actually figure out what you want to do, how did that feel?
Felt good, but I still felt like I was late. I figured it out at 26. So it could be somebody out there right now watching this is like 25, like, but I don't know what I want to do. Nigga, I didn't either. So you good, man. It's just once you figure out what that is, go as hard as you can, because you were playing makeup time. Because everybody else may have figured it out when they were 19, 20, or they figured it out in college, and now they got their degree in whatever it is that they want to do. So you're just a little bit behind. You gotta
just gotta keep going. So
double and triple time, yeah.
Man, you had a bunch of wild jokes. Not all wild, you know. They kind of different demographics. Some of them, you know, you touched on the politics a little bit.
Yeah.
Then you touched on relationships pretty heavy. So man, like, how have your relationships worked? I mean, you had your ride or die chick, but what was some of, like, I guess the funniest moments before that? You know, before you found that woman right there that actually believed in you. I'm pretty sure it was a lot of other women.
Oh, with her, like, she's the biggest rider of all time. She is absolutely wonderful woman, and still the craziest woman I've ever been involved with ever in life.
Man, that's a heavy dilemma.
Like slit your tires, but tell you she'll give you a ride to work if you need it.
I mean, we gotta salute women that do
that. It was just like, but say it in such a way that
such a passive.
Yeah, like I was like, yo, my tires got slashed. That's crazy. But if you need a ride to work, I got you. And then later you find out it was her. It's like
it's
like
you gotta raise one eyebrow.
Yeah, you're like helpful and damaging at the same time. She's a wonderful person, man, and we have children together. It's dope, but the reason I'm so good at talking about relationships on stage is because I've been in a million failed relationships. And I could just and I could just take all the things. For a long time, I would always accept all the blame because I was wrong in mostly every situation. But I realize in society I don't know, it's kind of taboo to point out what women do.
Oh shit, man.
It's taboo for some reason to point out.
You might get flagged just for saying that.
Yeah, but I don't know why it's taboo. Like, there's nobody, think about all the people on social media, right, with large followings. There's a bunch of dudes who have large followings catering to women, talking about what men don't do, how men mess up in relationships, everything. Where is the video of anybody holding women accountable ever?
Man, you might catch a case.
But you see, I'm just saying, like, I'm not even trying to stir up no shit, and I ain't saying, I'm just saying, why is it not okay to have that platform of doing it the other way? So I don't get on stage and just point out everything women do. You know what I mean? I talk about how great women are or whatever.
You said it yourself.
Yeah.
The most valuable thing pretty much on this earth is a woman's vagina.
Yeah, right.
And it's funny because one of my homegirls, shout out to Danielle, she was telling me the same thing a week ago. She was like, the power of this pussy, like, Pierre, I'm like,
it's
girl.
real.
She was
it's
like,
a real thing.
Like, the girl can get you to do whatever thing she wants. That's her realistic logic. I'm like, girl, you crazy. Come here at night, I'm like, he might be on to something. I saw how they was reacting.
I saw a nigga get on stage at his wife's show to beg for forgiveness while dressed like Elvis Presley. That was the craziest shit.
Shout out to Offset.
That was the craziest. Pussy is, man, the power of the pussy. This nigga
It's crazy, 'cause
is
just put it
part
into perspective.
of a rap group, a hardcore rap group. And he looked just like Evel Knievel. Handing flowers. It was like the craziest shit I've ever seen.
They say you gotta go all out.
Man, he went all, nigga. He
went across the world with it.
I'm telling you, bro, you know how good pussy gotta be for you to get on social media and be like, hey, I'm sorry, man. I fucked up.
On the live stream.
But I'm gonna tell you what made it so dope though, like how he a real nigga. Cause that nigga still stuck to the lie that he ain't fucked that girl. Like he was like, I mean, I ain't fucked her. I entertained her though, and I shouldn't have been entertained. And I was like, you fucked, but that way to stick with the lie. Cause once you said I didn't do it, you gotta like, it's a way of saying I did something wrong, but I didn't do the wrong. I was wrong, but I wasn't wrong.
Nah, it's levels to it for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
There's levels to it. So a lot of different comics and comedians in general, you know, especially with the, I guess, society we live in right now, a lot of things are viewed as touchy subjects. So how do you decide what, you know, type of stuff you actually want to talk about? Because a lot of people be too scared to say a lot of things you said on stage tonight, or just in general. Like I say, people, it's a lot of red tape.
Yeah.
So how do you decide, you know, really just to move forward? Because everything is funny. Every time you spit it out, you know, people rock with it.
I actually do that on purpose. First, when I first started doing comedy, it was all about making people laugh. Mm-hmm. But the problem with that is you'll start to whore yourself out for the laugh. You'll get to a point where I'll do anything as long as they're laughing. Well, when people leave your show, they don't remember anything. They remember you were funny, but they didn't take nothing with them.
Exactly, you gotta stick with them.
Yeah, so I was like, you know what? I'm gonna talk about things that may be difficult to talk about. And the journey is making it funny. And no matter how many, I get a lot of opportunities to get on stage. Mm-hmm. And like the relationship shit that you saw tonight, and even the political shit you saw tonight, there was a time where that shit didn't work.
Oh yeah, man.
Yeah,
that
shit did not work. And then you keep working on it and working on it until you figure out how to, because I know when I thought of it, the concept at least, the concept is funny and you get something out of it. Mm-hmm. The journey is making it funny. Yeah. You know, and making it so, how do you criticize a president in a state that voted for him and still get everybody to rock with it?
That's a good way to look at it.
That's, you know what I mean? And I know it's a challenge. Some people will see that challenge and go, I just won't touch it. Mm-hmm. But nah, man, I think that's how you become great. The greatest were always able to talk about things that people would go, maybe you shouldn't touch that, but still make it so everybody is like, cool, I rock with it. Like, I just famous bits from over whenever Richard Pryor talked about, you know, doing drugs.
Man, did he?
And like, that's a taboo thing. If somebody told you they smoke crack, you would not listen to them. No, maybe like, I'm not listening to this story.
Out the window.
Yeah, all credibility. But he somehow found a way to get people to stand there and listen to it and then laugh at it.
Yep, still rocking.
And laugh at it. Like, Chris Rock did a bit about O.J. Simpson of, I could understand why he killed his wife. Immediately that would have women turn on you everywhere.
Oh yeah, they'd be ready to kill you.
But he did it in such a way that it just murdered. I think going the easy way out will make you likable. Mm-hmm. Taking the long road will make you legendary. And
you gotta stand out.
Right. I pride myself on making things funny that even when I talked about cheating being forgivable,
oh yeah,
the women automatically go, nah, we can't rock with that.
I get that Cinnabon.
But by the time I get through the end of the Cinnabon bit, they be like, damn, that should make all the sense in the world. And it's funny. So that's the journey, man. I love comedy so much. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm literally, like, a lot of people do stuff that they love, and I really feel like I'm doing the one thing I love the most. And it's rewarding, man. Like, we doing this interview, I ain't even been paid yet, y'all. This is after the show, everything. I didn't go get my check. I'm so gratified. Like, I found so much gratification from the show. Like, I'm whole. I'm gonna go get my check after this interview. But what I'm saying is I'm happy and completed before I went to go get it, is what I'm saying.
That's a hell of a feeling.
Yeah, it's a hell of a feeling, man. I love this with all my, like, I really wanna do this until I die. I wanna, and if it's not stand-up comedy, I wanna create in some type of way, whether I'm still gonna be a writer, a director, you know, produce things. I always wanna be a part of the creative process because I feel like that's where I'm happiest.
Definitely not. I mean, I feel like for a lot of people, creativity does and brings that fulfillment, but you know, it's a lot of people that, for whatever reason, maybe they can't access that room yet, so they just haven't got to it. And hopefully y'all do, all the people that need to hear that, what you just said. But how has having children impacted your comedy, or just impacted your life in different? Because kids, I don't have any kids, we don't have any kids, but a lot of people say kids change everything.
Kids are the biggest game changer ever, because I'll put it this way. I had a job that didn't pay that well, and I had a roommate, and I was happy. I could have lived that way until I was 50, and I wouldn't have cared. But when you have a child, that's not good enough. That job was good enough to feed me. It wasn't good enough to feed me and her. That roommate situation was a good enough living situation for me. It wasn't a good enough living situation for me and her. So as soon as my daughter came, it was, if you really care about your child, it's level up time.
Take it to the next level.
You gotta take it to the next level. So, you know, without my daughter, I'm not here because, or like, I think in comedy, because of how much I love it and how much I wanna do it, that I would have ended up here anyway, but maybe 10 years later.
Yeah, the road, the journey.
My daughter made me go, hey.
Kept knocking on that door.
Hey, you remember that plan you had? Triple time. I'm gonna need milk. I'm gonna need you to do this faster.
Get the milk all the time.
Yeah, I'm gonna need diapers. I'm gonna need you to do this faster. So, I don't know, man. It's the greatest thing in the world, and I didn't want to look my kids in the face and tell them that they have to try their hardest to be what it is that they wanted to do or wanted to be, and I never did it.
Yeah, you gotta show them.
You gotta show them. So now my kids don't have an excuse. Maybe that's the reason why I went so hard. Because I'll be like, you can do anything you put your mind to. No, you can't. I did. And then what do you say to that? So, you know, I do a lot. They mean so much to the process, man. But anybody who's thinking about having children, if you don't have children, just grind like you do have them, because I'm not gonna lie to you. Having children literally puts a stop to your world, dog. Everything that you wanna do, your life ain't yours no more. If you're a good parent, your life ain't yours no more. So you don't get to do the things you want to do or you would like to do. You do what they need you to do first. And sometimes that leaves you with no time for you at all.
That's
so real. if I'm telling you, less people need to have babies. There's enough people having babies. You know somebody with 5. You ain't got to have one. Like, it's good, man. If your legacy, like, yeah, you here?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
You want me to bring it in, or you want him to wait?
Well, I have him wait 1 second because we still doing the interview.
I'm glad you just said all of that because, first of all, it's a great example of, being a man. Not only being a man, but being a black father as well, because you already know how that gets frowned on in society.
I had a great one. I ain't gonna lie, man.
Yeah, I was just about to ask you about your dad, because you spoke about him tonight, too.
A lot about my dad. I love my dad, man. I'm one of 8 children of my dad's, and he took care of all of us. This dude, and we talking about took care of all of us without a high school education. So I'm talking about the basic of level of education, man. And he raised all his kids. He took care of us, man. And he was a good dad. And I'm telling you, me having him, because I don't know if I'm really built to be a good dad, like the way that I am. But I could never look him in the face after this man gave his life for his children and go, and me go, these 2 kids are hard. these 2 kids are hard. So I'm to go, nigga, try 8. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't know if I could look that dude in the face. I had an excellent father, and he was always, however many jobs it took, That's why I don't like excuses. People get mad at me and they say I'm harsh and they go, Ryan, you don't understand or whatever. Life is hard, blah, blah, blah. Yes, it is. But I was raised by a nigga who can't read, who had 8 kids, and he made it happen.
Made it all the way happen.
So if you can read and you ain't got no kids, I don't know what to tell you. Like, I don't know. It's very hard for me to feel bad.
Yeah, it's like you ain't working hard enough.
You know what I mean? Like,
are you trying?
Because everything good happened to me after I decided to try my best. If you're not where you want to be, ask yourself, am I trying my best? Am I putting my all into it? And then when you say, if your answer is, yeah, I'm trying my best, then ask yourself this: do you play video games? Do you talk on the phone about stuff that don't matter? How much stuff do you watch on social media? Like, this is the only thing you should be watching. This show right here is the only thing you should be watching on social media. This is productive. But a lot of other stuff, your time is something you never get back. You never get it back. Oh, I'll do it tomorrow. That's a great thought. But tomorrow is a next day. You've wasted 24 hours.
24 hours gone.
That you could have used to get towards your dream. And even people will go, but I have a job. You get off of work. You work an 8-hour shift. A day is 24 hours. That's 3 8-hour increments. 8 hours on your job, 8 hours on your dream, 8 hours in your sleep. And if you're not willing to do that, then you're not willing to do what it takes. Yep. And then that's when you really have to look yourself in the mirror and go, I'm not trying hard enough. I'm just not.
You got to be real with yourself. I feel like a lot of people have that issue right there.
Everybody has that issue. I even did it. I used to have these why not me moments. Why ain't things going the way that I want? And then I sat down and I was like, are you trying your hardest? Are you?
Got to put in that 110.
You got to, because this is the thing too. A lot of positions that people get put in, everybody starts out at a different starting point. Everybody, if I want to get to a certain point, and I was raised by 2 high school dropouts who had 1 million kids or whatever, somebody who's the only child of 2 people who are successful, college graduates or whatever, from the burbs, they got a higher starting point than me. No matter how people can go, oh, y'all both went to the same high school or whatever. We didn't deal with the same shit when we went home.
Yep. Whole different
environments. So that's why a lot of times it takes a person like me till 26 to figure it out, because it took me that long to break from the matrix of
life in society too.
Yeah, what you've been exposed to beforehand.
Because society tries to put you in that box, especially when you come from a family like yours, when it's a lot of kids. They don't, they already look down upon certain people anyway. But they like, man, I ain't gonna stay inside of this box. So for you to really break out of the box, that's an accomplishment for your mom and father as well as yourself.
My whole family lived in like a 50-mile radius. I'm talking about on both sides of the parents. Yeah, both sides of my family, the whole family.
That's super
like I didn't
too.
Right. Nobody went anywhere. No, that was all I knew. And when that's all you know, you feel like that's okay. Mm-hmm. Now, of course I'm supposed to be doing this. Why wouldn't I do this? This is what everybody does.
Yeah, that's what I've been saying for the last 20 years.
It's what I've been seeing my whole life. And then I ended up getting friends who were in the burbs. And we were just talking about life. And I was like, I didn't know people did that. You can do that?
Oh, yeah.
You mean I can do that? It only costs that much to do that?
Yeah, it starts widening your whole perspective.
Like, people think to travel out of the country and vacation out of the country and do all this stuff costs so much money. And it doesn't. It doesn't. You just have to plan.
Yeah, oh yeah, plan in advance. Come on, man.
Plan. Whether you do, I'm telling you, everything you want in life, if you plan it and write it down, don't just say this is what I want to do. When you write it down, it makes it real. Write it down. Write it down again. Write it down again. Post it. Read it every day whenever you wake up. Make it somewhere. Put it in your bathroom mirror. Hopefully you shower every day. You'll see it.
You'll see it every day.
Yeah. So
putting it into the atmosphere and universe that you bring.
And you speak it. I'm telling you, speak it into existence. That's a real thing. Speaking stuff into existence is a real thing. And I don't know, man. I feel like a lot of people just don't understand that you are, to an extent, your circumstances. But what people don't understand is you don't have to be. And the day you figure that out is the most empowering day ever. And yes, you may have to work 3 times as hard as somebody who was born in a better situation. Don't sit around and complain about it. It sucks. It's unfair. It's not right. And now after you've told yourself all of that, get to work, because you're still gonna have to do the same amount of work to get there. Yeah. Even after you complain about it.
Yep, if not more. And I wanna
right.
definitely shout out to my little sister. We just had that conversation the other day, and I was telling her that, in life, pretty much exactly what you just said. Like, it don't matter about what's going on. You need to do what you got to do to get to where you want to go. At the end of the day.
It's all about what you have to do. You can't. Watching somebody else's journey doesn't make your journey easier.
No, it just leaves you stagnant.
Exactly. You're watching.
You just watch. Me and my friends have this conversation all the time. At the end of the day, everybody got to work. Because if you're not working, they're just going, we still sitting here not where we want to be. You know what I'm saying? You can talk about it all day, but...
And complaining. Why are they there? Why are they moving along?
Why he get that movie deal?
Yeah. Well, because he's moving. I'm moving. No, you're not. You sitting there watching somebody else's movement.
Somebody else moving. There's nothing wrong with It's nothing wrong with watching people move and moving at the same time. Or hey,
even if
salute,
let's say if you do it in a competitive way, you're using somebody else's movement to motivate you because you want to outwork them. That's a positive way to do it. Mm-hmm. But if you're just looking at it to be negative, like me, I want to be the best comedian in the world. So I watch everybody's special. I watch everybody's comedy special, and I immediately compare it to my set.
Yeah, how can I improve? How can I make it better?
Yeah, like, now, am I better than this? As soon as I see somebody, I go,
I'm the best.
As soon as I see somebody's set that I go, like Chappelle made me go,
the legend.
All right, nigga, it's time to get back to work.
Oh yeah, that.
like I was really feeling myself, and then he dropped 4 in 1 year, and I was like,
Chappelle been that dude.
Nigga, it's time to go back to work. It's time to go back to work. This nigga is good.
Good. I remember watching Halfbaked for the first time.
There's a lot of people who are good. This nigga is good.
Yeah. You know you're good when you can take off 10 years and come back
man,
and get the same love, if not more.
He is just...
You walk away from the money and you got the same...
Came back.
Right there.
He walked away from 50, came back and collected 60.
Easy.
Ain't God good.
Big shout out to Dave Chappelle.
Big shout out to Dave Chappelle. Met Dave Chappelle. Extremely nice guy.
Man.
Yeah, he was asking me questions about my career and
That
everything,
must been a hell
man.
of a feeling, because people,
Oh, man.
I mean, people love Dave Chappelle. Like, so you take it back to Half Baked, but especially when the Chappelle show and everybody caught on to him, they love, man, it's funny. Shout out to my cousin Xavier, you're gonna be mad. You know, Xavier, Chappelle used to do the skit, the crackhead with the beanie. My cousin always wearing this jacket. I say, bro, you look like the crackhead off the Chappelle show. You gotta stop that.
You look like Tyrone.
Tyrone Biggums.
Yo,
man, that's
I was
so
literally,
classic.
no lie, on the way, leaving my hotel, on the way here, I was quoting Chappelle's show.
Man.
I was quoting the Rick James episode. Charlie Murphy.
Like biopic.
Charlie Murphy was the nicest guy in the world too. He's the first comedian who I saw. You see, like after the show, I do a meet and greet. Long meet and greet. It doesn't matter how many people are at the show. I'll shake every single hand. I'll take every single picture. Everything.
You creating moments for all of those people too.
Charlie Murphy showed me that.
Man.
I met Charlie Murphy. God rest his soul. He did a meet and greet after the show. Now, you had to buy like merchandise or something for the meet and greet, but I mean, that's the way he did it. But I was a comic. I was just starting doing comedy. Did nobody know me? No, nothing. I wasn't even doing videos or nothing.
Just a man with a dream.
Just a man with a dream. And Charlie Murphy, after all his shows, sat in his green room. And then I was in his green room too, as a couple comics. He didn't kick us out of his green room, didn't do anything. He met all of us, and he started telling these wild stories.
Oh, it's just like the show.
Man, listen, it's just like the show. It's hilarious.
It's crazy that you got that.
These stories are crazy, and they're hilarious, but he was just so nice. And we hung out, I mean, easily to 2, 3 in the morning. Just talking and hanging out and stuff like that. And he didn't know me. I wasn't nobody. He could have did. And he's Charlie Murphy. I'm telling you, when he did the Comedy Zone is 400 seats. He sold out 7 shows. He had 5. And they added a 6th show. He sold that out. They added a 7th show. He sold that out. So that's 2,800 people. He just sold tickets to 2,800 people. So he's on a different level. Yeah. He's famous. For real. And he's just sitting in here with a bunch of comics, just kicking back and like allowing us to, you know, talk to him and ask him questions and stuff like that. He didn't have to do that. And it was at that moment that I was like, no matter how big I get, I will always make myself open to people who
supporting you.
Who support me, and people who, like, I give advice to comics all the time. I get, like, when we do these interviews, I'm constantly trying to drop jewels because I want to, all the information that I've gotten that helped me get here,
putting it back out into
I'll
the
put
world.
it back into the world, man. You ain't gotta pay me for this. I give it all to y'all. And if you don't believe what I'm saying, then you don't believe, but it's gonna be somebody who watches this and goes, I'm gonna try it out, and it's gonna change your life. And you're welcome. I'm serious. And Charlie Murphy did that for me. And do that for whoever, man.
It's crazy that you have a memory like that. Even getting to meet Dave Chappelle and Charlie Murphy, those are two of the highly most regarded people in the game. Period. So it's really, really crazy. And we get to meet you right now. So that's that's dope. I mean, we close to God rest Charlie Murphy's soul, but man, that's crazy, man.
Unbelievable, man.
So how does it, so with the entertainment world right now, it's a lot of commotion going on. Okay, of course, like Kevin Hart was hosting the Oscars, and then he had a little kickback from that. So what's your perspective on situations like that? Because he's arguably the biggest comedian right now. Not necessarily the funniest, but certainly the biggest right now.
So I made a video about it whenever it first happened, and my stance was, I understood why they were asking for the apology. And if hosting the Oscars was really something important to him, just apologize, bro. There's a lot of people who didn't know you said stuff like that. And when they heard it, they were really hurt by it. And if you apologize, it would just make them feel better about it, and they can just go about your day.
It'll blow over.
Yeah, it'll blow over. And as a man, I know I've apologized for stuff, even if I wasn't sorry, just to get the people who was bothering me about it to shut up. So for me, it would have been nothing for me to be like, yeah, I'm sorry about it, whatever. And then we would have went about it. But he didn't. He chose not to apologize. I respect not wanting to live an apology. Like if you apologize already multiple times, it's only so many times I'm willing to do it. Either,
same thing.
Yeah, I'm not gonna keep doing this. I'm not gonna live an apology. So I understood that, but I felt like he missed with the jokes, man. The jokes he was saying, I felt like they were really on the harsh end of the spectrum. But then
it was a different time though, too. Around,
but I ended up talking to Naeem Lynn. Naeem Lynn is one of Kevin's good friends. He's been on the road with Kevin like a decade or better now. Plastic Cup Boys, they had the special.
They go way back.
Look, Kevin, they go way back. Like, and Naeem is right. He was one of the people who was on the receiving end of one of those tweets. And me and Naeem talked about it. And one thing about me, man, I am very stern in everything that I say. I don't speak without really evaluating all sides. I try to evaluate all sides, and I want to be on the right side of history every time. So that's why I look at all points of views. But he gave me a point of view that could only be given to me by somebody that close to it, who was involved. He basically said to me, because I was like, the tweets weren't funny, they were offensive, but he was like, he said to me, you're not in a position to judge whether it's funny or not, because it wasn't to you. He was talking to his friends. He was saying these things to his friends. And we can't get to a point in society where we start to police how people talk to their friends. If I'm close to you, me and you tight, I can call you whatever I want to call you.
Yeah, because if not, a lot of people be locked up. Society got a hold to some of these conversations.
You see what I'm saying? A lot of the conversations that everybody have with their friends can be the most inappropriate conversations ever, because y'all joke like that. Your friends, you can say whatever you want to say. It just so happened he was talking to his friends in a forum where everybody could see it. And at the time, it was no big deal, but then society changed in such a way that it was a big deal. And then people were in an uproar about it. And I was like, Naeem, I didn't look at it that way. You're absolutely right. Because I don't want nobody policing the way that I talk to my friends or how I talk to the loved ones in my life. I have a gay brother. I should be able to call my brother whatever I want to call my brother if I feel like it, because he knows I love him and we can joke however we want to. But if somebody else heard it and went, oh, you shouldn't say that, I'd be like, man, get the fuck out of our conversation. So but the thing is, Twitter is so public, you know what I mean? But at that time, I don't think people were getting beat up about tweets back then. It was different back then,
Twitter's a weird place in general.
So I was like, okay, that perspective, now I can see, the other perspective
it
better.
Puts more light into it.
Yeah, but that was a point of view only somebody close to it.
Yeah, because I mean, if you just flip it just like that, then like you said, it makes perfect sense for probably everybody in the United States, because everybody be, fooling.
Right.
Just being straight up.
And then Andrew Schultz put the icing on the cake, man. He said, if these groups who want change, right, you're trying to get people to stop being a certain way, stop speaking a certain way. If you have to go back 10 years to find something wrong, then maybe that person has already made the change.
Yeah, they already made the transition. That's a good way to look at it too.
So if they haven't done anything wrong in 10 years, and they seem to have made the change that you want them to make, then why are you going so far back to find when they were wrong, and why are you asking for an apology now? Maybe you don't want the apology, maybe you want revenge.
Yeah, you want them to feel it.
You want them to feel it a little bit. So when he said that, I was like, God, I didn't think of it that way. You know what? Kevin got done wrong. And I was wrong. Even though I still in my heart feel like I wasn't necessarily wrong. I don't think this is 100% right and wrong, because I still don't feel like I was wrong, but where, like, and how I felt about it, but I know I was wrong and feeling like his side was more like, whatever. Yeah. Nah, he has just a legit, I was like, oh, he just doesn't want to apologize, and I can understand that, but it's bigger than that. It's like, nah, man, he really didn't do anything when you really look at it.
Put it into
it's like a witch hunt. And yeah, when you get to see it like that, I was like, okay, don't apologize.
Yeah,
don't
I think we just live
Oscars.
we're just in that society, especially with entertainment. It's a very, like I said, there's a lot of red tape on pretty much everything these days.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean.
See, and that's me. I'll touch everything. I don't care.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, that's what makes you stand out.
Yeah.
And not in. You know, that's what's going to make you great, long term.
Because I don't want, if we get to a point where it becomes taboo to say anything, then free speech dies. Yeah. And like, how is our First Amendment?
Yeah, it makes everything just.
It changes everything once you start. And don't get me wrong, I'm not one of these people who pushes amendments or whatever. I mean, it used to be legal to enslave people who look like me. So I'm not opposed to changing amendments. But freedom of speech is one of the few freedoms we actually have in this country. So you telling me I can't say what I want to say?
When you want to say it?
When I want to say it. Like, nah, it's not even when I want to say it. Now I can't say it amongst friends. I can't, like, so are we going to start taking away people's privacy, right? The privacy stuff. Like, you really can't, because once you start saying you can't say or you can't talk about a certain group, but other groups are allowed to be talked about, then you're trying to say this group is better than these groups.
You see that a lot in society right now. Really,
right now.
That's kind of like the
that's
great
why
divide.
I give everybody the business. Everybody got to get these
everybody
jokes.
Everybody can get it.
Everybody got to get these jokes. I am the true American. Everybody can get these jokes.
That is a true American, though. You can dish it in every direction, because it is, I mean...
Everybody. That's why my audience is so diverse.
Yeah, it was. When you hit the Trump joke earlier, I seen a few, white people out in the crowd, and I was just curious to see how they would react to it. But when I seen them laughing too, I said, okay.
A woman after the show was like, I'm a Trump supporter. I voted for him. She was like, and I couldn't disagree with what you were saying because you hit it on the head. But a lot of people don't know, with me, I'm a conservative. So it's easy for me to make stuff palatable for conservatives because I already get how you think. So if you're a conservative and you don't like my jokes about Trump, you're just getting mad. You're not really listening to what I'm saying, because everything that I'm saying is fact-based. It's not based in any type of, like, I don't have it out for Trump. Like, the dude ran for president and he won. I mean, what, like, it's not his fault that he won. People get mad at Trump all the time. If Flavor Flav ran for president and he won, I can't be mad at Flavor Flav. He didn't make himself the president. Like, it amazes me how people just are so willing to jump and dive on it. Nah, man, look, we live in a republic. They say it's a democracy, but it's a republic. That's why in the pledge it says, to the republic.
United States of America.
Yeah, for which it stands. But it's just, if you don't want to deal with somebody being in power and you had an opportunity to not let them in power, then that's your time to stop it.
Yeah, you gotta step up.
And if you don't step up, then you don't have a place to complain. I don't want to hear your complaints. Now, all the people who, you know, I felt like it was a good thing that he won, even for people who don't like Trump. I think it's a great thing that he won for this reason. You do see that your vote matters, because nobody would have ever thought that he could win.
You shocked a lot of people for sure.
Yeah, it goes to show, if you get the people to believe,
anything's possible.
Anything's possible. So that's what pisses me off when people are like, it was between Trump and Hillary. Well, as you can see, if you can convince people that the other person is worse than you, you can get in. But if everybody was like, I had to choose one or the other, if everybody band together and chose somebody else, that person would be president. And now hopefully people see, I don't have to take the choices that they gave me. Mm-hmm. I don't. If there's somebody running independently, an independent can really win the presidency if people believe. The problem is people get so scared. But now, hopefully, with him winning, people can see you can get somebody you really want. And you don't have to look at it like it's the less of two evils. Mm-hmm. You can get somebody you really want if that's what you want. And hopefully people get that out of it after all the complaining from either side.
Okay. Definitely, and I'm glad you touched on that. So just to piggyback on your career as we wrap things up, how far, I know you want to be legendary, so I'm not even going to say how far you want to take it, because I know you're going to take it all the way. But do you see yourself getting like more into like acting and stuff like that? You know,
I will be acting. I'll be acting.
Oh, it's already in the works.
Oh yeah, it's already in the works. I'll be starting a web series. I wanted to do that because I actually never wanted to be in front of the camera, but that wasn't the plan that God had for me.
Oh, he put you in front of it.
Put me in front of it, so it's over. Like the whole, I don't want to do it. Now it's time to master that skill. If I'm gonna have to do it, I want to master it. So when I put out the web series, it's actually going to be, it's like taking a page out of Issa Rae book, man. Like Insecure is a great show, but it started as a Diary of an Awkward Black Girl on YouTube. Yep. And I'm going to start my own web series where I'm going to write, produce, and star in it. And hopefully it gets the type of support that will allow a network to say, you know what, we should give this guy a shot. And hopefully, man, that'll be the thing. And I'll be doing that. I'll have a podcast, and I'm working on shooting my special next year. Oh yeah. So it's a busy year, man.
Definitely, and I can tell just from this conversation we had, I feel like we pretty much had a life discussion, a life talk. Oh man. So I can already tell the type of person he is just from that, and I'm pretty sure everybody in this room can feel exactly where it's gonna go. So I just want to thank you for allowing us to do this dope interview with you. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Ryan Davis, and if it was anything you can, say to all the people that came and all the fans.
When you meet a nigga named Pierre, you think it's gonna be a pretty nigga, and then you see his hair, you're like, this is a pretty nigga. Like, why is every nigga named Pierre got nice hair? Like, where's the nappy-headed African fresh off the boat Pierre? With hair like mine. Man. I've never met a Pierre that didn't have curly hair. What? I know this has nothing to do with our conversation, but I just wonder, like, is that the key to having a kid with that kind of hair? Is the name him Pierre?
Yeah, you gotta name your kid Pierre. All the ladies, what's going on? So, man.
You remember How to Be a Player? Have you ever seen that movie?
I've seen that movie too many times.
The light-skinned cousin? His name's Pierre.
Man, that light-skinned cousin was a fool.
That's Pierre. His name is Pierre. I never met a Pierre that didn't have hair like that. Nigga, is there a Pierre with dreads?
Probably in the NFL somewhere, man.
Probably. Nah, thanks for having me.
I definitely appreciate it, man.